What's up, everybody, and welcome to the No BS Real Estate Show, a podcast that gives you an inside look on how to make smart financial decisions while adding value to your life. I'm Matty Miller with ERA Real Estate, alongside my co-host and real estate investor extraordinaire, Ryan Robbins. Whether you're a long-time investor or a first-time buyer, join us as we dig through the everyday bullshit of real estate. Ryan Robbins, this is the No BS Real Estate Pod, the NoBSPod.com.
The No BS.
We're joining today. It's a Tuesday. The NoBSPod.com. That is the official website nowadays. First of all, I just want to take time to apologize on our side because we did not do a Friday BS show, and last Tuesday we revealed that we were going to have some news for you guys, and we never got to that. So we're kind of going to reveal that today, and one of the reasons why we haven't been able to do a Friday bullshit episode, which we wanted to, unfortunately, someone got a new position with a new company, and I'm very happy for him. I actually told him to go because it sounded like a great opportunity, and it was different than what he was currently doing, and it looked like there was some opportunities. Yes, he is still in real estate. Yes, he is still in investments. Yes, he is still a realtor. All that fun stuff. Okay. Just under a different world's okayest realtor. Yes. We know you're not phenomenal, but being humble is part of the gig, right? You just got to be humble. So
I feel like a sub-average realtor lately. To believe it or not.
Sub-average, well, as I say, you're going through a lot of stuff on the transition. I'm sure it's going to take some time to get your feet wet and just tell everybody a little bit about what's going on.
That's it. So, yeah, about a week and a half ago, officially made the shift. So I am now a couple different things going on. I signed on with Better Homes and Gardens, which coincidentally enough is actually owned by
it's owned by the same people. It's a real OG.
Yep. So it's underneath the same parent company as ERA was. So now Better Homes and Gardens. And along with that, one of the broker owners at this particular franchise also has a large property management division that he owns. So helping him out on that side to kind of streamline that whole process, also work with the sales going in and out of that portfolio, along with a whole bunch of other stuff that can't disclose quite yet, but you'll hear about in the future. So there's a lot of stuff to come down the line there, but it's all exciting. So especially from the investment side, if there's any of those investors out there, there's a lot of properties. I think we're on to say right now, the fourth or fifth largest property management company in North Florida. So a lot of opportunity coming in the off-market realm. So if you guys are looking
you're not specifically working in property management per se. Yeah, maybe no.
No, yes and no. There's going to be
did we just become a little bit of competitors?
The fight's on. The fight is on.
All right. Well, fair enough. Maybe we're competitors now. How's this going to work?
I don't know, man. We're going to have to. One of these episodes next, V's Pizza, it's going to be a backyard brawl. Just put the gloves on and.
I don't think you want to weren't you a swimmer? I don't think you want to go down that road.
With a wrestler, yeah, probably.
No wrestler
would be a good idea.
It's a bad idea,
so,
especially after 3 or 4 beers.
Yeah, no.
Just hope to God you can last a minute and a half, because then after that, I'm just going to lay on my back and say I'm tired.
Yeah.
So, can't do this anymore.
I'd have the stamina. That would be it. But you've got a
lot of it's all technique.
Yeah.
It's all technique. When it comes to bar fighting or fighting in general, still a lot of technique.
Yeah.
It's not the brawler who wins most fights. It's the guy that has a little bit of technique. Not that I know anything about fights or bar fights in general, but anyway, moving on. So Ryan has obviously moved on from ERA, which is no big deal. We are still friends. We are still going to have this podcast. Even if we are competitors, we're going to come talk about we're just going to talk about investment stuff and property management and obviously buyers and sellers, because we both do the same thing. We both are going to work with buyers and sellers a lot. I'm actually doing – it's funny, you're actually phasing into property management a little bit, and I'm actually trying to move the opposite way a little bit. So it's kind of – it's ironic the way that works. So, and property management's always going to still be part of my portfolio and always going to be part of what I do. I'm just not sure that it's, I just get deals that fall into my lap, man. Like, it's just one of those things.
That's
Like,
part of it, truthfully, which is part of the reason why, was the decision to make that shift for me, because there's, as you know, quite literally firsthand, there's a lot of turnover through that portfolio. So having an agent there, you being able to bring those to the market and or replace those with a buyer.
Well, I wasn't even referring to the property management portfolio. I was talking from the standpoint that I am, for those of you that can tell or don't know me, I'm a little bit of a social butterfly. And when I moved to Jacksonville, I didn't know that many people. So property management, I always kind of thought real estate was going to be a great place for me. But I didn't know anybody. So it's really, really hard in real estate to go in and say, hey, I'm going to go sell houses and have literally no network whatsoever and think that that's going to work. And it's taken me a very long time, obviously, to know. I don't know, a very long time. I mean, I've been in Jacksonville since 2010, so it's been 9 years. But I have a large group of people now that understand that I'm in real estate, that I've sold houses for, that are friends of mine. That I just got a new listing down in St. Johns County, and I'm doing both sides of it. So I just picked that up, but it's an acquaintance of mine. I would call him a friend. But I know him through coaching wrestling. And he also happens to have one of his friends who's also moving. And I just got 3 deals out of one person that I've never really strictly advertised or marketed to. Yeah. At one point in time, he says, he asked my brother, apparently, he's like, what does your brother do? Like, I've been coaching wrestling against him, and we've been in the same gyms and the hospitality rooms for, 3 years. He's like, what does your brother do that he's able to be here all the time and not be working? And he's like, oh, he sells real estate. Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. And 3 years later,
guy from the outside, it's like, man, this guy,
what the fuck?
Must kill it. He must kill it. Never works.
At that point, I was driving like a brand new Chevy Colorado. Like, I was single, so I had all the money. I didn't have any money. I was broke. We've already been through this. We've been through this. I had no person in my life to tell me that I was making poor financial decisions is what I had.
Yeah.
So there's that. Let's be square there. If you remember the Memorial Day episode, you'll remember us talking about financial woes and kind of airing out our dirty laundry at times. So, yeah. Anyway, part of having that network sometimes, and I always talk about it, creating raving fans, and creating raving fans is kind of the approach that I've taken. And I was reading something on Facebook yesterday, and we're kind of going down a rabbit hole, which we tend to do anyway, but I was reading something on Facebook yesterday, and it was an article written by whoever, doesn't matter. It was pretty much an opinion-based article, but it was the 9 sales techniques that are officially dead. And it was like the hard sell, the comeback sell, yada, 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 yada. And it listed like the 10 sales down there. Well, it was ironic because in the comments section, there was like 500 comments. One of the guys literally said, he says, the only thing that I can tell you, I've been in sales for a long time, is that I typically make sales when I'm selling a product that's wanted. I don't beat people over the brow, and I create a relationship with that person based on trust. And that was the most liked comment of all of it. And I think when you think about real estate, that's exactly what we have to do. Because I think when you start to chase the deal and you chase the money is when you fall flat on your face.
Well, one of the things we always talk about to that is providing value.
Yeah, well, it's serving the public.
Yeah.
It comes back to my term, as I always say, serving the public, because it's what we're supposed to do. But if you provide value, people trust your opinion, you're honest with them, and you tell them what's going on. Like a lot of the times, I have a deal closing on Friday with a person that referred me, and I think they're going to be very, very happy. And I think they like me a lot, and we've gotten along great throughout the process. So we've had some snags. I mean, I think it was the 6th house we ended up offering on. We just got into multiple offer. I mean, it was just craziness. But it's been a journey legitimately for 3 months, 3.5 months. And it was like, all right, well, but those are people that if you if you create raving fans and raving fans, creating fans, having people that like you and understand that, hey, when someone talks about real estate, hey, call Matt. He's a good guy. And that's all they need to say. Really. Yeah. Call Matt. He's a good guy. He'll work his ass off for you. That's all I'm really trying to accomplish.
Well, and realistically, referrals come down to, a direct reflection of whoever's making that referral. So if somebody refers somebody to you, a friend to you, and you drop the ball, the friend's now looking at their other friend that, sent them over like, man, what the heck you doing? Matt, that screwed me.
Yeah. Matt blew me off. He didn't call me back. I missed out on 3 houses that I liked on the market because I saw them on Zillow, blah, 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 blah. Now they're under contract. What am I going to do?
If you get a referral, it's not necessarily someone saying, hey, man, thanks. I appreciate it. You did a great job with me. It's them saying that, hey, I not only did you do a good job with me, but I trust you to then do a great job with, one of my close friends or family members.
If I get a referral, I am literally stopping my day, picking up my phone and calling that person right now and going through that and offering them the best possible service I can. If I got to go out and show them a house that day or tomorrow, I'm going to do it. And compared to somebody that maybe I cultivate on my own, I'll try to help out as much as I can. And that being said, if somebody says I want to look at this house, I'm probably going to drop my shit and go look at it anyway, unless it's just I just physically can't. It's one of those things. But again, it's just offering that service, and that's the thing is you never know where these referrals are coming from. I did a deal for a girl. One of my first real estate deals has now given me 4 other deals. Wow. I think it was actually the second house that I sold. And they've referred me 3 other people. And then that person has referred me another 1 or 2, I think.
I know
So it's like this just tree that just keeps falling. It's just these roots that keep spreading amongst people.
To that, I know our inbox has been blowing up with just an influx of emails from answers to give us advice. But while we're kind of just bullshitting through this episode, I would love if there's people out there listening that have
was that a pun? Was that a pun? I think it was a pun.
That has some sort of suggestion on what would you like to see from a follow-up standpoint from an agent, a broker, anything that's, because to your point, you just spent 3 months with somebody, 6 offers, and now their, property's closing. Well, all right, it closes,
as he said to
Friday,
me,
and then
after that,
it's like, and you guys, oftentimes, you're sometimes out every weekend for a few weeks. I mean, you develop a relationship. Right. I've gone out with clients, I'm sure you have, where you're out driving around and you're like, hey guys, let's go grab lunch. Next thing you know, you're grabbing lunch, and
we grabbed drinks together a couple times. Like I'm sure when he's a big, he likes to barbecue and have a beer, and I guarantee when they get in and get settled, we're going to go over to their house and hang out. And that'll be from a networking perspective for me, that'll be an opportunity to introduce myself to his friend circle.
Yeah.
Hey, this is Matt. This is our realtor. He's a great guy. Bam. And then you just like, I look at that stuff as business opportunities at the same time that I don't want to look at it as business opportunities. I want to look at it as building relationships with people. Because at the end of the day, like I had a client of mine who's a property management client for 6 years. Well, he chose to list his house with somebody else. I wasn't upset. I just told him, like, I kept calling him and asking him, like, hey, what are you doing with that listing over there? Or what are you going to do? And he's like, well, I have this. And his original tenants that I placed, by the way, get this one. I placed the tenants in that property. Well, one of the tenants ended up getting their real estate license. And he's using her to list it.
Interesting.
So, moral of the story is I love the guy. Great dude. We'll never say a word about him. But that's just the world. That's just what it is. I'm not going to be upset because over one little deal. It's not the end of the world. Hey, great. I'd love to have it. I'd love to help you. But at the same time, I'm not going to hold it. Like I still have a relationship for him. Because you know what? You never know what happens. If that agent goes and screws something up, he might call me. I have no idea. So it's one of those things. Can't win them all. It's fine. People have close relationships, but he also lived right next door. He owned the house next door. And that's what I was managing it for him. And so they ended up becoming friends. So their relationship was probably closer than mine anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to compete with that, which is no big deal. So understanding that you can't win them all, but understanding you can sure as heck try and try to continue to build those relationships. And if I was mean to that particular guy, you think he's ever going to refer me to anybody for property management? No. So, or sales, whatever. So, and I think that's another thing when you're in property management and you're in sales a little bit, people tend to blur the lines and think, oh, are you a property manager I've had people legitimately ask me, well, you run a property management company. Yeah. Are you a realtor? People don't know that you have to have a license to do property management. They have no idea.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in certain states, you don't need a license.
Correct. Yeah. Well,
if you wanted to break off on your own and do that, you'd actually need a broker's license, which you have. But
yes. But on the other side of that, there are certain states that require a property management license.
That's true.
That different than a realtor license.
Yeah.
So, which I think is probably where we're headed at some point. I think that there will be. I think that eventually NARPM has a lot of education and all that stuff where I think that the National Association of Residential Property Managers, I think, needs to have their own license. I am an active NARPM member, which you can see right here. This little sign here. Yeah, you can't see that. So maybe I'll see you at NARPM meetings every now and then, huh? Not quite going there.
We'll see.
Fair enough. I actually have a meeting this Thursday. So it's actually some of the stuff NARPM does is great. Some of it is an absolute waste of time. NARPM is, for those that are listening, the National Association of Residential Property Managers. They've had a large influx of people becoming members on this, but I don't think NARPM's really ever figured out what they really want to be. I mean, the National Association of Realtors has continuing education. Some of it's really great. Some of it's not. They have like realtor networking events. Like that doesn't help me make money. Like that's what NARPM started as, to where it was very vendor based. So you'd have a HVAC company out there, a plumbing company, and they'd buy you lunch for a bunch of property managers. Doesn't do me any good.
Do you have to be a licensed agent to be a member there, or no? Can anybody?
Well, or you can work for the owner operator.
Okay.
So, but 95% of them are agents. There might be some NARPM members who are an office admin of some sort.
It's not like landlord training we went to with the city where anybody could just
go. No. This is 98% real estate professionals. I'm almost dead certain. I think there's a couple little like caveats to where if you're working for the owner if the owner of a property management company is there and you have an office admin or somebody in your office who does paperwork or accounting, things like that, they can be members. But typically, more often than not, it's the agents that are running the property management company or the broker that's running the property management company that are members of NARPM. So a lot of brokers,
What's the cost to it?
I don't remember exactly. I think it's like $400 or $500 a year.
Okay.
So, and there's education in there. Speaking of which, I have to do my ethics training for NARPM, and it is rather lengthy. And your dog is behind you. I saw the tail wag.
Came running in from outside.
Yeah. So, yeah. But anyway, we've totally gone off on a rant there, which was kind of the intention of a bullshit episode today. We didn't really have a specific topic. We did want to talk about one specific thing that we were talking about prior to jumping on this, and the first offer and the second offer. When you list a house and you get the first offer, statistics say, and I'm a big fan of made up statistics, but I don't know exactly what it is, but I do know it's very high, that I think it's like 87% of the time, first offer is better.
I love your statistics you throw. You're like, I know it's up there. It's got to be over 80%.
Yeah. So we're going to go with 87. It's 87.6% likely that your first offer is always going to be better than your second. And you were talking about a situation where you had a listing and your client at the time was very she had the one offer. She let it fall apart because they just asked for too much inspections. She gets the next offer, and it's lower. It's close, but it's lower.
Correct. Yep.
And then a different home inspector finds the same stuff on the same house and they ask for all the same things to be fixed. Okay, as an agent, we know what are the things that really need to be fixed and what are the things that really don't. We know what we're going to ask for. We're going to ask for electrical, major plumbing, roofs, HVACs, things like that. I'm not worried about a little bit of, dry rot on this unless it's a WDO and it has to be done or whatever, things that are updated, one thing or the other. That being said, she basically is trying or TBD on maybe killing the second deal too.
We're good. We're good at this point now.
Okay, good.
Yeah. We're through the repair requests. Everything's been negotiated. I ended up giving up some of my commission just to get it done because at this point, I know exactly what's going to happen. We're going to pull this one, off the table, and we're going to get the spot in deal number 3. So
she's going to get less.
This all comes back to being emotionally tied to anything you're selling. And I learned this early on, probably 19 or 20 years old when I sold my first street bike. And I had it for...
When you say street bike, you mean motorcycle?
Motorcycle, yeah. So had it for about a year and went to sell it. And I'm like, you know what? I should get, $7,200 for this thing. Put it up. And of course, I have it listed at 72. I really want to get, somewhere in that 7,000 to 7,200 range. That's going to make me happy. Well, I'm getting offers all day at like 6,700, 6,800 bucks. I'm like, no, thing's worth $7,000. At least worth $7,000. Hold off. Next thing you know, interest starts to go away. I drop it to 7,000, Now I'm getting offers at like 65, 66. I'm like, no, that thing's worth at least 7, And then I'd be happy to get the 68 I was getting offered before, but I'm getting offered less. So I'm like, wait. Now I'm dropping it. Now I'm getting offered 63 to 60. And I'm like, screw it. I think I ended up selling it for like 63 or 6,400 bucks. I'm like, I could have made $400 or $500 more if I just took that first. But it happens all the time on anything, vehicles, houses. The one,
houses especially, partly because of the fact that we know the 21-day rule. The 21-day rule, if you're not familiar with, if your house is still actively listed after 21 days, I think you're going to basically take like 7% less automatically. Once that 3-week mark hits, and it's something with the psychological idea of, well, why is this house on the market? There must be something wrong with it, is basically what goes through a buyer's mind. Or, why is this house on the market? They're in a need that I can give them a lower offer because they need to sell this.
The way that I look at that is when your house hits the market, and I'm just going to say there's 10 people actively searching for a property between $200,000 and $250,000. That's
1,800 square foot with a 2-car garage.
Yeah. So if there's 10 people that look at it or that are looking for a property like that, it hits the market. Within the first couple weeks, all those people, that's why you get a flush of people. Well, guess what? If it's priced right, what's they say, priced right, dressed right, and whatever else right, ready to go. I don't know.
I think you just made that. I think you just made that.
You're going to get some offers, pretty quickly. Now, after that 3-week mark, typically those 10 people or everybody else that's been looking at it go away. They've already seen it. They're not interested.
They've moved on.
Now you get the onesie twosie that come through that just decided this week that they're going to get ready to purchase a house, or
I'm thinking about buying. I'm not really sure.
A little bit, or they're going to scale their budget back down. So you get the one-offs at that point. The onesie twosie coming to the market. You get the guy adjusting their budget a little bit. But to your point, you're hoping they view it as a hot property that just hit the market, but now you're 3-4 weeks on and.
But they more than often don't, and that's the negative part. So, the first offer, if it's close, we try to accept. Obviously, we're in a market that the first offers are typically pretty good, at least right now. If somebody I don't think there's any place in America that's really has a down market right now that's really down that we know of. There's slow moving markets, but there may not be down markets. I'd love to hear from somebody that, because since I've been in real estate, it's been a rising market. I have not gone through a downturn yet. I'm looking forward to it because it's going to bring different opportunities and different ways to learn. And I am saving all my greenbacks now for when I don't make money in the future. So, and then that being said, that's one of the reasons why I love property management, is because in a down market, ultimately property management will gain steam and you'll have more rentals to deal with than you will sales. I mean, because at one point I was at 100 properties and now I'm at 75 active. And just me personally, that's my portfolio, and I was at 100 legit, and it's just a matter of everybody sold. I mean, I probably sold 15 properties out of our own portfolio, and another, 10 sold on their own or used somebody else or went back to the agent that referred them or whatever that situation being. So when we are in that situation, I will really, really double down on property management at that point.
Yeah.
I don't know when that's going to happen. I have no idea. But history tells us it's going to be soon because we're on basically 10 years of it up.
Although we've been saying it's going to come, and
it hasn't yet.
Yeah. Interest rates are staying low. That's helping everything out.
Yeah, I just don't know. I hope it's more of a market correction than a crash. But
yeah, I don't think it's going to crash. I don't think we're in it.
I mean, people think recession and they think it's just this awful word. Like, no, it's just means the market's moving the other way. Yeah. It's not like we don't think the Great Depression. We think depression, that's a bad word. Recession and depression are two highly, highly different words that often get used in the same ballpark. So recession just means it's moving the other way.
Or cooling off or pullback, in terms of real estate again. If
Market correction is my favorite term when it comes to that. And I say market correction, like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, just where things slow down a little bit. You're not having multiple offers on properties. You may have to come down. You may have to price adjust 2 or 3 times before you can actually sell your home. And by price adjust, I do mean dropping the value of your home because it is a market that moves and it is a market that is alive. It's alive. So, yes. Anyway, that was really awkward and weird. So, yeah, first offer versus second offer. Well, if you guys get it, I mean, you got anything to follow up on that?
No, not as far as that goes. I was going to chime in with your people selling out of property management when the market's up, and it's essentially just comes down. Oftentimes, the people that are getting into it are buying those properties to put into management, bought them when the market was low. Now they've got a bunch of appreciation. Oh, look, we've got a visitor.
Again.
Yeah.
She's trying to cut out Titus because Titus isn't athletic enough to get up on the chair like that.
Yeah.
He's old and he's a bulldog.
She does what she wants, so.
All right.
But, all right, man. Well, I'd say that's probably good for a Tuesday morning.
Yeah, we did a little bit of a middle episode, 30 minutes. So we're going to try to, at least for right now, we're still in the midst of summertime. We're both super busy here. Ryan's got a new gig going, and I am wrapping up a lot of stuff back here. I got a new board over here. I got this one full, so we're ripping and running right now. And it's one of those things. This is all rental stuff, and that is all sales stuff. So got it. I got 6 properties on that one and another 7 over there. So it's one of those things where I'm like, in the next 2 months, my goal is in the next 60 days is to get a lot of this stuff taken care of and to try to make myself cool off a little bit because I need a break. And I need to go just a little bit. And just kind of relax. And it helps that it's football season. And I don't really want to do that.
Keep the train going. Keep the train going.
I got to keep it moving. I'm not gonna stop the train. I'm just, now that I got it pushing down the tracks, okay? Pushing down the tracks. Okay? It's just gonna keep going.
Keep on rolling.
Yeah, so I got it up the hill. Now I'm gonna take it down. Like
Matty sells, that's still a thing.
That's still a thing.
No BS real estate, that's still a thing.
That's still a thing.
Jack's Property Pros. So new email for me, ryan@jackspropertypros.com. It's an old email, but my ERA email is going to go away. So for those looking for my contact,
I haven't had an ERA email in years.
ryan@jackspropertypros.com. 904 rents. If you're looking for property management, it's going off the board. Just kidding. We're going to keep that up there. You know what?
Okay.
Hey, it's staying, man.
To
I'm
be
all about
perfectly honest with you, and correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know what your do you know what type of investors you're trying to help out? Are you helping up B class investors in that upper echelon of property management, or C class?
Truthfully, there's actually 3 different portfolios right now of properties. And part of, again, the reason for me kind of signing on to try to streamline all this stuff is the fact that they're growing super, super quickly. So they've literally doubled their size in the last 6 months. So as they're buying some of these groups, one of the latest purchases had over 600 properties. And with that, it's not one of these things
I know that company.
You do, yeah. Not a great name, actually.
Yeah.
Historically, Jacksonville, and it's
bad name. A lot of CD class properties that probably need to work.
90%, 95% are CD, and there's probably even some, or
a lot of D,
or 15% of war zone, where it's like even worse than D.
Yeah, a lot of D and some war zone.
Yeah,
which I don't have any. Just for those of you listening out there, I just want to be perfectly fair. Ryan and I are not actually competing. Okay. I specifically have a small portfolio for the specific purpose of finding really high quality properties. Meaning in Jacksonville, a high quality property would be that $1,500 to $2,000 rental. That's the upper echelon of rental property in Jacksonville. You can, without going stupid, crazy luxury rental, I just got a listing out of the beach. We're renting it for $2,700. It's a 3.5 on the backside of Jack's Golf and Country Club. They're not Jack's Golf and Country Club, the Jack's Beach Course they just redid. But $2,700. That's my target market, is to help people out. And then, because those people are not institutional investors typically. Okay. They're not going to be long-term clients. They're going to have a house for 3 or 4 years. And at some point they're going to go sell it. And I want them to use me to sell it. Yeah. That's where my business model is totally different than what he is trying to do within property management. And we've both had interest in property managements and had our own ideas. We've even argued about ways to grow property management companies at some point, because we're both, I think we're both smart, talented people, and we both have different views on how to do things. And Ryan and I have had arguments at some point about lifestyle balance, things like that. He's wanting to he's a ripping and running for, hey, I'm going to build and build and build and build and build, and then sit back and go hands off, to where I'm like, hey, I'm just here to enjoy life sometimes, guys. I'm going to work my 45 hours a week. I'm going to make plenty of money. And I rip and run plenty. I don't want to say that and think people that anybody think I'm lazy. It's just, I like smaller is better to me. And basically being my own boss specifically. And to where Ryan is very entrepreneurial in his mind, that he is going to go grow the best possible processes for whatever it is he decides to do, which I think he can do that. And I'm looking forward to being with you on your journey as well.
Yeah, I can appreciate that, man.
So it's fun. This podcast is just going to start getting good, because now we're going to have different stories from different people that neither of us know.
Yeah.
And I think, by the way, if anybody contacts us, based on property management or investment sales, Ryan and I will deal with that. We'll be fair with each other and say, hey, who do you want to work with? If somebody has a preference, I want to work with that person, then just reach out to that person. No big deal. No one's going to get upset about it in here. We're both friends. And sometimes if I can't help that client, I may refer them right over to Ryan.
And that's, if nothing else, you and I especially, we're pretty straight shooters.
Yeah, we're not. No one's getting butthurt anytime.
Guess what? So. Your business isn't going over one deal, and neither is ours. So again, That's we're all looking
at
for
all.
So
Not at all. So
at the end of the day, we still offer different stuff, even if our pricing isn't the same. But if it was, we still offer different things. So hey, now you guys have that much more of a variety to pick from.
Correct. Yep. And I also have another person that, we talk with people on Bigger Pockets all the time that want those lower end investment properties. And I specifically in the past have told people I don't want them. And now I have someone to refer them to. And you're going to be there's going to be referral fees. There's going to be referral fees involved. So I'm just letting you know.
Yeah, I got you.
So anyway, at some point, by the way, I hope that wasn't like that for very long, but apparently I must have clicked off of. Oh, that's not good.
Didn't record anything.
It didn't happen that long. It was on mute. I just looked over it. It was on. It wasn't on that earlier. It was fine. I must have accidentally clicked it somehow. I don't know for how long. So hopefully not very long. We'll listen to this episode real quick. Whoopsies. All right, guys. On that, we are going to get out of here.
Thanks.
Have a good day, sir.
We'll see you guys.
See ya.
Thanks for listening to our podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, there's a few things I'd like you to do. Subscribe, leave a review, and head over to NoBSRealEstatePodcast.com where you can connect with Matt and I on all of the platforms we're on. Also, if you could do us a favor, leave a message letting us know what you enjoyed about the episode and what you'd like to hear about going forward.
Publish this bitch.